Welcome back to the channel. My name is Douglas, and in today's video, I wanted to show you something that's kind of cool. This program right here is called B67 Gradient WHL. Has nothing to do with really what this video is about, but I've been messing around with this, and it's such a cool program. Listen to this. Really cool using the arpeggiator on the Nord Stage 4. But in this video, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about creating a layer using something funky inside the voicing here in the synth section to give us, we're gonna use a piano and a string. And essentially what I wanna get is the piano and strings over the whole thing. But when I'm playing chords, I only want the very highest note of the string of the chord I'm playing to play the string. So we're gonna get into this. I don't really know what to call this, but it's kind of a unique kind of layering technique we're gonna use with the voicing. I'm gonna walk you through it in this video, but I was running a workshop with a bunch of musicians in South Florida over the weekend, and we talked about this. One of the musicians there asked how to do this, and we went through it live, and then I thought, you know what, I think this is something that's really interesting and fun to show. So let's dive right into it. I'm gonna reset my keyboard by holding Shift, tapping on the layer and knit button. We're gonna go to all here. Just a white grand there. That's fine. Let's leave the white grand and just gonna throw, I know you can't really see the reverb side of things very well, but I'm gonna throw just a 3 or a 4 on the stage reverb. That's fine for our piano. So let's come over and turn the synth section on. We have this one synth layer on here, A. We don't want the analog. We're gonna tap on this mode button to go to samples. We're gonna start off in the string category, and let's just go over and find something soft. So right now we've got a piano layer A and synth layer A, full volume. And if I play a chord, so every note I play, the strings in the piano are playing across the whole thing. We're not gonna use any splits in this scenario, but we've got these two layered, right? So we can adjust the volume of the synth down or the strings down a little bit. Let's focus in. I'm gonna tap on solo. We're just gonna solo the strings. Let's come in and turn on our filter, and let's grab our envelope here. So in the envelope, I'm just bringing my attack. Let's go with something like 3 seconds on that, and 3 seconds on the release, somewhere in there. Doesn't have to be perfect. Then on my amp envelope, I'm gonna do the same thing. Let's go with a 1.3, and we'll go with about the same on the release. Let's come back to our filter envelope and bring that back to match. I want these to come in roughly the same time and leave. So the attack is how quickly the sound comes in. Which helps. So if I take solo off, release is when I let go of the key, how long it takes for that sound to fade off. So we've taken our string sound, which was a pretty fast in and out string before, and we've softened that, made it a little bit slow, but it's still playing every single note. So if I play 5 or 6 notes, the strings are gonna play on all of those notes. What I wanna do is use a little bit of technique in the voicing section here to actually only have my string sound on the highest note I play when I'm playing a chord. So we can come over to voicing, and what we wanna do is tap on your synth layer A, which is our strings, make sure that's active, and we're gonna tap on this button to go to mono. So now if we play this, now it's only going to allow us to play one note at a time. So again, let's solo the strings. If I play a chord, similar to an analog synthesizer where you have this mono legato mode, it only allows one note at a time. You can get some really nice kind of notes and dynamics with your sound. We don't really care about that. What we want is just the top note. So if I play an F chord, every time I want it to take my high. Now what's happening is the last note I play, regardless of the order, is the note that's being played by the string here. So if I do kind of an F, C, A, it's taking the A because I did a sweep in and the A was the last thing I hit. So it's a bit of a random, when you're playing a chord, which note is going to be the first or the last one to trigger is going to be the note that plays, because in mono, it's essentially every note you play is overriding the last note you played. And so it's really the last one. Now what's cool about this is we can set the voicing of our synth layer to prioritize the lowest or the highest note. So if I play a chord, even if the timing's a little bit off, it's going to prioritize the highest note of any chord I'm playing. To activate this, hold Shift and tap on this mono legato button until we see the LED lit next to high. Now, regardless of the pattern or the sequence of which I play the notes, it's always going to favor that top note. So let's take solo off and listen to what's happening. So before we had this mode on, we were hearing the strings on every note we were playing. But now, now we could mess around and see if the legato is a little bit better. In our case, because we modified the filter and the amp envelopes, the legato mode allows the sound to fade in better than the mono mode. But both of these can utilize that low high. Now we could do the opposite. We could say prioritize the low note. So what it's doing here is it's prioritizing the low side and giving me these nice low notes. When I'm playing full chords on the piano, I'm just getting one single note on the strings, either prioritizing the low or the high. Now you could do this with any one of your samples, your synth sounds here in the synth section. So a really cool way to take what we would normally do in some sort of layering situation and thin out that synth or string layer to really be only the top or the lowest note we're playing in whatever chord that we're playing here on the keyboard. And again, what this allows us to do is have that movement in the piano side, but keeping the synth and string side a lot thinner, and it's just kind of filling in the backbone of that. Again, you could go to high. So a really cool little trick using the voicing and that low-high functionality there. I thought that was really cool. As I was talking through this over the weekend in that workshop, it kind of came to mind that I haven't showed you guys this here on the channel. But if you have any questions with what I went over in this video, feel free to throw those down in the comments below. I'm gonna switch back to this B67 gradient. Just mess around with this. Thanks for watching. Stay inspired. Keep making that music.